This is Coach Lee, and I'm going to answer the question, why is it so tough to get my ex back? And a lot of people will even say, why do I have to do all these things? Shouldn't love just be natural? It should, but I'm going to explain it to you from your ex's perspective and why it might not be quite as bad as you think, but let's just get into it now. The first thing I want you to consider is that this has taken a lot of time. And I talk about this in a lot of my videos, but if you've heard this before, stick with me. I'm going to talk about it a little bit differently today. A lot of times when someone's been broken up with, or when a spouse is left, or a partner's left, the person who's wanting to save the relationship wants to do it quickly because it's scary, it's painful, and they just think, I just want this over with. I want us back together, and we'll just sort of get on this road again like we were on, and it will be smooth sailing, and we'll ride off into the sunset. I get the desire that you have for that. But you have to know that this did not come about quickly for the one you love. It usually, almost always, and obviously not every single time, but usually it's something that's taken a long time. They've thought about it. They've interacted with you. They've reflected on how they feel, and they go back to you again. And sometimes they give it another week, another weekend, another month, another year. But what happens is that they spend all this time getting to this place where finally, as difficult as it is, they say, I want to leave. I believe there's possibly something better for me out there, or at least I hope there is, because usually people don't leave what they have unless they believe that what they are going to is better. That's a general principle in life, but they have to reach that conclusion over time. And so when you're trying to get them to get back together with you quickly and to sort of just sweep everything under the rug, I know that's not what it feels like to you, but it can feel that way to them. It makes them feel anxious. It makes it feel like they're going against what they want because they have taken so much time to get there. They feel like that it is the most logical thing to do. It's the best thing to do for them because they've given it so much thought. And so it's not something that you're going to turn around quickly, at least not in just a day or two. Usually it takes longer than that. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't get them to at least commit to trying or to thinking about it or to taking it one day at a time. And in my emergency breakup kit, I talk about that a lot, as well as the emergency marriage kit. And in our workshop, we actually sit down with you and help you to put together that plan. And our coaches do that as well, but think of this as a marathon and not a sprint. That'll take some of the pressure off of you, which will actually be better for the way that you interact with this person so that it's not an awkward or anxious or negative situation for them because you're pushing so much, which is definitely not what you want to do. Number two, another reason that it seems like it's so tough to get your ex back is because attraction has fallen on their side. And it takes time for that to happen. And a lot of times the negative situations can cause attraction to fall. And a lot of times people will think, if I just get those details correct, I kind of iron out some things, I'm going to work on myself here, and I tell them that, it'll all be fine. But the problem now is that because those things have happened, that can be rejection, that can be poor communication, it can be angry outbursts, all kinds of things that eroded their attraction for you. And so now, because attraction is motivation, and so now they're not motivated to work on this because they're not attracted to you. They don't feel like they want to be with you. So why would they want to do work to actually get to that conclusion? And so for you, it makes all the sense in the world because you're very attracted to them. As a matter of fact, them breaking up with you increased the attraction that you feel for them. So you're even more motivated. And so you two are at very opposing points. You really want this. They don't think that they do. So that's why it's so frustrating for you because you think, we had it great. Can't you just commit to working on this? Won't you even try? But if you go back to point number one, they feel like they have tried. They probably talked to you about it. They've mentioned it. And it got to a point where they just felt you're not going to change or the situation is not going to change. And so they just felt like they needed to leave. And a lot of times it can even come across to them as a negative that now it seems like you're really focused on improving things once they've already gotten to this point and they've already left. And maybe you can see that that's pretty frustrating for them. I'm just trying to help you get into the mind of your ex. I have other videos that do as well, but this is from a different perspective. So just know that one of the reasons it's difficult is because their attraction has fallen. It doesn't mean that you can't get it back. But at the moment, this explains part of the reason that they're not willing to work on it and that they just want to leave. Before I get to number three, get information on our workshop. It's for relationships in crisis. And that means this person has broken up with you or your spouse wants to leave and wants a divorce. And this is the workshop that can turn that around for you. It's called Relationship Reignite, and you can get more information in the link in the description or by going to relationshipresreignite.com. Number 3 is that they see you differently. And this is most seen in how you see them, because you'll say, it's like I don't even know them anymore. They just seem so different. The way that you used to be able to connect with them seems like it has little to no impact. And that's because they see you differently. At the moment, they don't see a future with you. And so because they did see a future with you before, or at least thought they did, they interacted with you very differently because they had plans for you. There were bricks being laid and a wall being built for the future. But now that they see you differently, they don't see that mutual effort anymore. They see you two as parting ways. I don't have to tell you that or you wouldn't be watching this video, but I'm not telling you that to discourage you. I'm trying to help you to understand them better, because it will help you do what you need to do to reattract them, to get them back, to at least bring them to the table to where they are willing to work on it, willing to try. And if you first understand that what worked before to kind of get their attention or to bring them back around is not necessarily going to work this time, because they see you differently. They don't see you in the same role in their life that they used to. So this is very different than what you were used to in terms of dealing with them. So keep that in mind. Do not base everything on what's worked before or who this person has been in your life up until now, because things are different at this moment if they have stated that they want out or things are just going very poorly. Number 4 is that the connection has been damaged. And a lot of times this can happen either through a long period of time where there was distance, where you rejected them or you did things that they felt made them feel unwelcome in the relationship. Because you actually have a chemical connection to this person. It's actually interesting how you develop this intimate and warm connection with someone is based a lot on hormones and neurotransmitters in your brain and your body that allow you to feel this connection with them. In a lot of ways, it's how your brain tells you, this is that person. This is that special person. Here's this chemical to help you recognize and feel it. So it's not as unromantic as it sounds when I say it's a chemical response to this person. But when there's been angry outbursts or rejection or long periods of what they perceive as negativity or deprivation from you, or long distance where you're not together like you should be face to face often, that can sever that feeling of connection with you, that warmth. And basically, those neurotransmitters and hormones are not produced at the same level with you anymore. And so the connection has truly been damaged, and it will take some rebuilding. It may take a lot of rebuilding. And we're here to help with that with our workshop that I've already told you about called Relationship Reignite, and with everything that my organization does to try to save relationships. Before I get to point number 5, take a second and subscribe to this channel so you can be notified when I have more videos like this. And once you click subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I have a new video. Number 5 on the list of reasons that make it difficult is that it's a negative entry back into the relationship. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times it involves a lot of work, a lot of going through the issues, a lot of awkwardness, and that's at least how it's perceived by the one that you love, that you want to reunite with, that you want to attract back to you, and that you want them to be willing to work on the relationship. But they see it as it's going to be this big, awful event that may or may not work. And so one of the best things that you can do is, instead of, as I mentioned earlier, instead of making the mistake of trying to get it all back at once, to just have a series of positive events with them, positive interactions, and to show them that at least interacting with you and being around you is not awkward. It's not frustrating. It doesn't bring anxiety and dread. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do to actually get them to do some of the difficult things, is that if they have some positive interactions with you and at least see that being around you is not always going to be about the issues or you trying to get them back and them fighting you on it, but that you can interact with them a little bit. And of course, I'm not saying break no contact if you're using the no contact rule right now, but I'm saying if you're still in the state where they're interacting with you, then you need to focus on small positive interactions with them so that they can actually trust that they could try to work on this with you and that it wouldn't be a fight constantly. And that's when a lot of times you can be successful in terms of just getting them to want to work on it, to have a one day at a time mindset for a period of time, to kind of try it out a little bit and see if, now that both of you have had this realization that relationships can be fragile and that your actions do matter, and that depriving or rejecting the other person or being hateful to them will have consequences, that they are not just a punching bag. There's all kinds of things, and I don't want to presume what's happened in your situation or presume that it's your fault, because a lot of times it's not. Assigning fault is often not a good thing either, because it's going to take the two of you to work on this to get this back. And so you don't want to isolate or tell the other person that it's all their fault. But again, there's lots of complex situations, and that's what our workshop is for, is to go through so much of this and to help you to actually know the direction to go. So get some more information on that. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.